after Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal refused to reappoint Rashtriya Swatantra Party chairperson Ravi Lamichhane as the Home Minister, the party has decided to quit the government. However, the party has decided to extend its support to the Dahal-led government. Meanwhile, threatening remarks made by Lamichhane during the party's press meet today targeting the media has been condemned by the Federation of Nepalese Journalists as well as the Nepal Press Union. Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. Rashtriya Swatantra Party decides to quit the government after party chair Ravi Lamichhane not reappointed as the Home Minister but decides to support the government. Lamichhane lashes out at the media after losing posts. CPN-UML chairperson KP Sharma Oli raises question on the Supreme Court's verdict while speaking at the Parliament today. Legal experts opine it could be an issue of contempt of court. Pakistan's former President Pervez Musharraf dies at the age of 79 following a prolonged illness at a hospital in Dubai after years in self-imposed exile. And Nepal thrashes Bhutan 4-0 in the SAF Under-20 Women Championship football underway in Bangladesh. Ami Shakarki scores a hat-trick in the win. Rashtriya Swatantra Party has decided to quit the Pushpa Kamal Dahal-led government. The party took the decision after Premier Dahal refused to reappoint Rashtriya Swatantra Party chairperson Ravi Lamichhane as the Home Minister, stating that the full text of the Supreme Court verdict on his citizenship case has not been published yet. The decision to opt out of the government was made through the Central Committee and Parliamentary Party joint meeting held at the party office in Basundhara this afternoon. Holding a press meet after the meeting, Rashtriya Swatantra Party chair Lamichhane informed that the party had decided to continue to extend its support to the Dahal-led government but would recall its ministers from the government. With the decision, Minister for Education, Science and Technology Shishir Khanal, Minister for Labour, Employment and Social Security Dol Prasad Aryal, and Minister for State for Health and Population Toshima Karki met Prime Minister Dahal earlier this evening and tendered their resignation. They had all taken the oath of office in secrecy on 17th of January last month and joined the government. Lamichhane had lost all positions of the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister for Home Affairs and Member of the House of Representatives following the Supreme Court verdict made on 27th of January last month on his citizenship case. Speaking at today's press meet, Lamichhane stated that he would move forward by accepting the Supreme Court verdict, although he claimed that the court took the decision hastily. He also said that he would not take up any posts prior to the by-election. 2 days after the Supreme Court's verdict, Lamichhane acquired his Nepali citizenship from the District Administration Office, Kathmandu, and the party's Central Committee retained his post of party chairperson on the same day. The Central Committee also decided that the party should get the Home Ministry. Lamichhane then met with Prime Minister Dahal and CPN-UML chairperson Oli on several occasions, demanding that he should be reinstated as the Home Minister. Although Oli exerted pressure on Dahal to hand the Home Ministry to Lamichhane, Dahal had stood his ground not to do so until the full text of the Supreme Court verdict is published. CPN Maoist Center also decided on the same. Meanwhile, the police investigation is being conducted on Lamichhane's passport case. Meanwhile, the Federation of Nepalese Journalists FNJ has stated that its attention has been drawn by the threatening remarks made to the media by Rashtriya Swatantra Party chairperson Ravi Lamichhane today during a press meet of the party. FNJ said that Lamichhane's threatening remarks are serious blows to press freedom and freedom of speech. In the press release issued by the Federation of Nepalese Journalists today, it has made it clear that if any untoward incident occurs due to the remarks made by Lamichhane, Rashtriya Swatantra Party chairperson Ravi Lamichhane himself and the party will be responsible. FNJ has said that Lamichhane's threatening remarks have been objectionable and an unseemly act. Condemning his remarks, FNJ has urged Lamichhane to take back the threatening remarks aimed at the media and respect constitutional right. Speaking at today's press meet at the Rashtriya Swatantra Party office, Lamichhane had threatened to encircle media offices. Meanwhile, the Central Committee of Nepal Press Union has also issued a press release today condemning Lamichane's threatening remarks, saying that it was done to hide his weaknesses and insult the media sector. Criticisms against Lamichane's threatening remarks have started to pour in from various entities. CPN-UML Chair KP Sharma Oli has made allegations of blunder in the Supreme Court's verdict in the case of Ravi Lamichane's citizenship. Speaking during the Parliament meeting today, Chair Oli expressed distress over the Supreme Court's verdict in the case of citizenship of Ravi Lamichane. Oli said the verdict has raised questions on the judicial system. Chairperson Oli said that the political crisis in the country must be addressed and pointed towards the need to formulate laws at the earliest. Oli went on to allege Nepali Congress of unlawful politics and that the party could not accept leaders of other parties as the Prime Minister and the President of the country. Nepali Congress lawmaker Ramhari Khatiwada had raised a point of order while Oli was speaking during the meeting today. Meanwhile, Secretary and lawmaker of CPN Maoist Center Devendra Paudel said that the general public wish for the major political parties to unite. Likewise, Nepali Congress Vice President Dhanaraj Gurung stressed on the need for the lawmakers to better themselves and said that the country is seeking a true leader. All entities are bound to abide by the decision of the Supreme Court. Procedures to review cases are done in case of unsatisfactory verdict. However, the decision of the Constitutional Bench is the ultimate verdict and everyone has to abide by it. The defiance of the court verdict could be an issue of contempt of court. However, former Prime Minister and CPN-UML Chairperson KP Sharma Oli has been continuously raising questions in the court since the past few years. CPN-UML Chairperson KP Sharma Oli, who addressed the Parliament earlier today, spent some of his time on the verdict issued by the Constitutional Bench in the case of Ravi Lamichane's citizenship. Oli said that the Supreme Court's verdict has raised serious questions on the judicial system of the country. Oli expressed doubt over the court's verdict. Such remarks from Oli on sensitive issues like citizenship is not termed ethical. However, this is not the first instance of leader Oli passing such remarks towards the judiciary. Oli had made comments against the Supreme Court's decision to reinstate the House of Representatives when Oli tried to dissolve it on 2 occasions. Chairperson Oli repeated his claims that dissolving the lower house was right while extending his confidence vote to the Prime Minister and while addressing the Parliament for the first time during this term today. Legal practitioners say that such remarks are illegal and irresponsible. The judicial sector has suggested to opt for legal procedures to prevent such remarks as it could influence the judiciary. People reach the court seeking justice while the trend of weakening the judiciary affects all the state bodies. There is a general call on the concerned authorities to be responsible towards this issue. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked people in several provinces why have political parties that had risen as new alternatives been drawn into controversies. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
विभिन्न पदका लागि बार्गेनिङमा अगाडि भएका हुनाले
संसदीय अभ्यास नभएको कारणले नै होला।
दलीय सैद्धान्तिक दर्शन प्रष्ट नहुँदा
धेरै पार्टीहरू भए हैन, त्यस कारणले
नयाँ पार्टीहरुमा चाहिँ त्यो नीति सिद्धान्त कार्यक्रम छैन।
आफ्नो स्वार्थको लागि पनि आएको हुनाले
राजनीतिक अनुभवको कमी हो।
नेतृत्व नै अलिक परिपक्व नभए जस्तो लाग्छ।
राजनीतिक अपरिपक्वताको कारणले गर्दाखेरि
हतारमा निर्णय गर्ने बानी,
कुर्चीको मुहामा फसेको हुनाले चाहिँ
सत्ता केन्द्रित मात्र भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ
सबै पैसा र सत्ताको खेल हो।
विवादमा फसिएका व्यक्तिहरूलाई अगाडि सार्ने क्रमले गर्दा नै
सत्ता र शक्तिप्रति अलि बढी लुप्त भएको कारणले गर्दा
पार्टीहरू त भन्दा म के कम भन्ने के अब आफ्नो आफ्नो आस्था आफ्नो आफूमा ठुलोपन देखाउने
आफू भित्र भएका केही गल्तीहरूलाई लुकाउन खोजेका होला।
CPN Maoist Center has fielded Urmila Aryal for the post of the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. Aryal's candidacy has been fielded for the election of the Deputy Speaker that is slated for tomorrow. Leader Naran Kaji Shrestha had proposed her nomination, while Aryal has the backing of Devendra Dahal and Kimlal Devkota. The candidacies were filed until 4 p.m. earlier today. The list of candidates was published today, while the election will be held tomorrow. The election for the vacant post could not be held since the tenure of former Deputy Speaker Shashikala Dahal ended. Meanwhile, the main opposition Nepali Congress did not file their claims for the post. The meeting of the Parliamentary Working Committee of Nepali Congress held earlier today decided not to field candidates for the post. The conduct of political parties does not align with the objective of a stable government. Parties and leaders have been making unstable the government administration, which is considered stable government. The current government has also followed the trend of seeking comfortable workforce. The Pushpakamal Dahal-led government has been increasingly transferring government employees, which has created instability in the administrative bodies. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Bishnu Paudel, on the next day of assuming office on 27th of December, transferred former Secretary at the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies Toyam Rai to the Finance Ministry and Secretary of CIAA Ram Prasad Ghimire to become the Revenue Secretary. In the name of forming a team, Minister Paudel shuffled 6 joint secretaries, including Joint Secretary of Revenue Management Division, Bhupal Baral, last Wednesday. Likewise, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Energy, Water Resource and Irrigation, Rajendra Lingden, a day after assuming his duties, removed engineer Gopal Sigdale, who is considered an expert in infrastructure, and appointed Secretary at the Ministry for Physical Infrastructure, Keshav Kumar Sharma, as the Secretary at the Ministry for Energy. These are just representative cases. 9 secretaries and 26 joint secretaries have been shuffled since Pushpakamal Dahal assumed the post of Prime Minister on 25th of December. According to the Article 18 of the Civil Service Act, the transfer of secretaries and joint secretaries is done by the decision of the Cabinet. The ministers, meanwhile, have been abusing the authority by shuffling the secretaries according to their convenience. The Office of the Prime Minister has termed the transfer of officials as normal. However, irresponsible shuffling of secretaries and joint secretaries could not be termed legitimate. According to the Civil Service Act, the transfer of government employees must be done with a motive. Prime Minister Dahal, after assuming his office, had directed all the secretaries to present their work plan within a month. The transfer of 9 secretaries after issuing such directive has indicated minimal chances of a proper work plan being prepared and hinted towards weakening good governance in the country. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what's your take on the trend of political parties not taking decisions on issues of national importance and giving the responsibility to the party's top leaders? 45% voted for A, mockery of internal democracy, 48% voted for B, lack of decision-making capacity, and 7% voted for C, trust in leadership. And here's today's question. What's your say on the transfer of high-ranking employees after every change in government? Your options are A, administration being politicized, B, leader-employee nexus, and C, due to necessity. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the international update. Pakistan's former president Pervez Musharraf died today following a prolonged illness at a hospital in Dubai after years in self-imposed exile. Pakistan's military and the country's mission in the United Arab Emirates announced the death of the former army chief at the age of 79, who was pushed from power in 2008. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, President Arif Alvi, and the chiefs of Pakistan's Army, Navy, and Air Force each expressed condolences on his death. A special flight will be made to Dubai tomorrow to bring Musharraf's body back to Pakistan for burial. The former 4-star general, who seized power in a bloodless coup in 1999, oversaw rapid economic growth and attempted to usher in socially liberal values in the conservative Muslim country. It's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Nepal thumped Bhutan 4-0 in the SAF Under-20 Women Championship football, with Amisha Karki scoring a hat-trick in the win. In the match played in Dhaka, Bangladesh today, Nepal took a 2-0 lead in the first half itself after Amisha Karki scored both the goals. Amisha opened the scoring for Nepal in the 18th minute, making good use of the pass from Deepa Shahi. She scored after beating Bhutan goalkeeper Sonam Palden, who came forward in an effort to grab the ball. Nepali skipper Preeti Rai's shot in the 40th minute was well saved by Palden. Amisha scored her personal second goal of the match in the first half injury time to double Nepal's lead. Nepal added 2 more goals in the second half. Skipper Preeti Rai found the net in the 61st minute to extend Nepal's lead to 3-0. Amisha completed her hat-trick by scoring in the 62nd minute and sealed Nepal's convincing 4-0 win over Bhutan. And it's time now for the weather update. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.